Story 1. Road Rager decided to harass my sister.
I don't know if I should post here so you be the judge. So this happened eons ago. My sister just got her driver's license. To celebrate we, together with some friends and family, decided to take a day trip to the beach. There were a bunch of us, like 4-car load full of people. On the way there, all drivers were aware that my sister was a new driver, so everyone drove in accordance to the highway speed limit. My sister was at the back of the convoy, and every so often someone would check on my sister to make sure she didn't get lost or fell too far behind. Being a new driver, she drove on the rightmost side of the highway as a courtesy to people who are way faster than her. It was quite busy, and it was a 2-lane highway. There were lots of cars on the road, and everyone wanted to drive on the passing lane. She drove the speed limit. There's this huge gap between her and the next car in front. There was this $8 hole driver, let's call him Richard, who decided to harass my sister by tailgating her, eventually overtaking, cutting her off and then brake-checking her. When Richard had enough of making my sister's life miserable, he decided to go on his merry way. Cue our cousins. Car 1 was directly in front of Richard, Car 2 matched Richard's speed beside him. My sister slowed down enough to let Car 3 get behind Richard, eventually boxing Richard in. They then proceeded to drive at a speed slightly slower than the speed limit, driving Richard into a fit of apoplexy. We did this for a full 1 or 2 minutes, driving Richard up the wall. Full-on driving while honking his horn while everyone laughed like crazy. He eventually merged into the shoulder and proceeded to stop. We, on the other hand, decided it wasn't worth our time to pursue. Ah, good times. Edit, spelling and grammar. Sorry, I'm on my phone.
Comment 1. I was in my daughter's city. I've never been there. She goes slow in the right-hand lane so I can follow her. Road Rager follows her into the parking lot. My 6-foot son and I park beside her and get out. He got back in his car without a word said. Comment 2. Well done. The purpose of a convoy is like a flock of geese or ducks or any of the animal kingdom, namely, to protect all the members of the group. Comment 3. I had a road rager tooting at me when I was stopped at a pedestrian crossing. I had stopped to let an old dude cross, as you do, and tried to indicate with my hands as such to the tutor. Eventually my hand signals morphed into a middle finger. The old guy finally crossed the road and I drove off. Tutor decided he'd overtake me and slow down to a snail's pace. I guess he wanted to give me a dose of my own treatment. I was in no hurry though, so he just doubled down on his own inconvenience. I just waved at him politely as I turned into my street 100 meters up the road. I just don't understand the logic. Like, why did he think I'd stopped at a pedestrian crossing? To fix my hair? Comment 4. I absolutely love this. Assholes like Richard cause accidents that can kill people. And for what reason?
Comment 5. Well, Dick absolutely deserved what he got. I'd just say be careful because some dicks are crazy, and they have at least one deadly weapon at their immediate disposal.
Comment 6. True friends and family right there.
Story 2. Lunch with the assistant principal.
Last weekend I went to a high school reunion and we talked about a lot of things from back then. A few days ago, I submitted a post about a bully getting his due. / We've been talking about stuff from back then on Facebook, and another petty revenge story came out about a student who was sent to the office by the assistant principal, someone we did not like, by the way. He was in the lunchroom and saw the student toss his half-empty milk container into the trash, but it accidentally hit another student and some milk went on her. It was clearly an accident. The student apologized to the one who was hit with the milk, but it didn't matter. When the AP went back to the office and talked to the student, he decided that since the student couldn't eat nicely with others, he would have the privilege of dining with the AP the next day, at the head table in the lunchroom. This table served as an isolation table for students who misbehaved during lunch, but was visible to the entire room, so students would see who was publicly being punished. The student showed the letter that was sent home with him to his parents and they didn't agree with the decision. But, they told him, it's no big deal that you have to eat at the other table for one day instead of your friends. Deal with it. The petty revenge. His mom worked at a seafood market, this was in New England, and she went there after supper to buy his lunch for the next day. They steamed a lobster and a dozen steamers, little neck clams, and chilled them overnight. That morning she boiled an ear of corn on the cob, and included butter and salt in the container. She also packed a small bucket for the shells. There may have been some coleslaw. At lunch the next day, when he sat down at the table with the AP, he put on a lobster bib, spread everything out in front of him, and feasted. Many of us in the cafeteria could hear him using the lobster cracker to open the lobster shell, and some of us were watching him eat. At one point he turned to the AP and asked, "How's your sandwich?" There was a lot of laughter when he said that. Just before the bell rang, a couple of us walked up and helped take everything to the trash bin.
Comment 1. I was waiting to find out that the AP was allergic to seafood, but knowing he only had a sandwich is good as well. Comment 2. I love hearing their shells crack. I bet the AP was a shell of a man after that.
Comment 3. That mom was a genius.
Comment 4. That mom's a superstar.
Comment 5. Very rarely do these kinds of stories make me laugh. But this one did. I can just hear it. Crack. How's your sandwich? Crack. Schlurp. Comment 6. That's hilarious. I can see him sitting up on a high platform table like a medieval king having a feast.
Story 3. No good deed.
I had a part-time job, so to do my bit for society I got a job in a charity shop. One afternoon at 5 minutes to closing, a customer in no rush at all came in. After asking daft questions, how much for this, on items with a clear price tag, she picked up a sealed bottle of cobbable bath for a handsomely priced 30p. Her, thrusting it at me, open this. Me, sorry. I can't unless you buy it. Argues for 5 minutes, then reluctantly gets out her purse. Puts 23p on counter. Her, that's all I've got. Give me a bag. Me, I'm afraid the price is 30p. Beaming, I can put it aside for you till the morning? She goes full on Karen but eventually leaves in a huff. She came back with 7p the next day. Well worth missing the bus home to see her defeated face. I know, I'm a petty bastard.
Comment 1. I missed opportunity on this one. You should have told her. I can't take 23p for it, the best I can do is tell you 2p off. Comment 230 for this? You must be mad. Comment 3. Where were you petty? Seems like basic rules of purchasing goods. Comment 4. That was funny. Thank you.